Good day. Let us discuss now our last part or last kind of obligations with a penal clause. So here, a very important provision is that Article 1226. In obligations with a penal clause, the penalty shall substitute the indemnity for damages and the payment of interest in case of non-compliance, if there is no stipulation to the contrary. Nevertheless, damages shall be paid if the obliger refuses to pay or is guilty of fraud in the fulfillment of the obligation. So, under this provision, we could readily see kung ano yung konsepto at saka nature ng isang penalty. So the penalty basically, it is the substitute ng kabayaran for damages and the payment of interest in case of non-compliance. If there would be no stipulation naman daw to the contrary. So it is an accessory na obligation attached to the principal obligation. Let's say, for example, the debtor borrows money from the creditor for 10,000. Tapos, may naka-attach siya na penalty na 1,000 if in case man daw na hindi siya, if he fails to pay, he has to return back the money after a month. So, in case po na hindi nga niya mabayadan yung 10,000 after a month, maliban po sa principal na 10,000, well, babayadan din niya yung penalty na 1,000. Pwede pa ba siya mag-demand ng interests plus damages? Well, hindi na. Kasi sabi nga diyan, substitute siya sa interest and damages. Not unless otherwise stipulated. So, magpapunta tayo dun sa konsepto na may mga pagkakataon pala na there would be instances that the creditor could still demand for damages and interest aside from the penalty. So, therefore, yun yung mga pagkakataon na may stipulation naman na pwede daw mag-demand pa din ng damages and interest. At the same time, pwede din mag-demand ng interest and damages if the obliger refuses to pay or is guilty of fraud. Yun yung mga pagkakataon. Ano po? Ngayon, ang tanong, what if naman there would be plurality of debtors? Let's say there are more than one there are two or more debtors, joint or solidary. What would be or how would we enforce for the penalty? Well, basically under this provision, well, we would enforce it by following what is the agreement of the parties. It is the ones that will control the enforcement of the penalty. So in the absence of such an agreement, the presumption is yun po ay joint. Ang penalty is joint. So, the debtor will only be liable for his own failure to perform in proportion dun sa kanyang share sa penalty. Tapos, kapag solidary naman, the penalty must be enforced totally because nga the penalty is a substitute for damages suffered by the creditor. So, kung magkano man yun, so kung sino nga yung kanyang makasalubong na solidary debtor, then he could demand for the entirety of the penalty. Question: can the debtor escape fulfillment of the principal obligation by just paying the penalty? No, not unless it is agreed upon. So, well, the creditor can demand fulfillment of the principal obligation at the same time payment of penalty, except lang kapag there would be agreement of the parties or when the fulfillment is impossible due to the fault of the debtor, then the penalty could be demanded. Tanong ko naman ngayon, may mga pagkakataon ba na yung penalty po ay pwedeng i-reduce ng court? Yes. Under 1229 in your under this section, still, a penalty could be reduced by the court kung nagkakaroon na naman po ng partial compliance dun sa obligation. So, ipoproportion natin dun sa hindi pa nabayadan na po pwedeng i-reduce yun base doon ng korte. And then, obligation has been irregularly complied with, or kapag naman yung mga pagkakataon na ang penalty ay hindi naman po siya makatarungan, iniquitous or unreasonable, well, the court will be intervene and then have to reduce for the penalty being imposed. Ngayon, are there instances when the debtor naman is not liable to pay for the penalty? Just a question. May mga pagkakataon ba? Well, the law is very much protective as well to those rights ng mga debtor. If the breach naman is due to the fault of the creditor, then it is likewise justifiable that the debtor shall not be liable to the payment of the penalty. And then in cases of fortuitous event, and in cases if the debtor is not yet naman in default. Question now, what would be the effect if the penalty itself or the penal clause is void or null? Well, we have a principal obligation. So, since it is an accessory po, hindi po nag-a-apply dito yung ating pong kasabihan na the accessory, yung ating legal na maxim na the accessory follows the principal. Hindi po applicable dito. Well, ang principal obligation, magiging effect nun, ang principal obligation would remain subsist. So, based on my example, still you have to pay for the 10,000. If in the case the penalty is void. So let's say, for example, another example for that one. In case I oblige myself to sell to you a horse which is pregnant, and then sell to you a horse which is pregnant at 10,000, tapos in case of default or non-compliance, nag-i-impose ka ng penalty na 3,000. However, ngayon, ito namang si horse ay namatay while giving birth to the baby horse. Ang tanong ko dyan, pwede ba ikaw ay ako'y iyong ihabla para sa recovery ng penalty na 3,000 base sa ating napagkasunduan? Base dun sa aking example. Well, basically, no. Bakit? Kasi the obligation has been extinguished. Kasi sa aking example ay, yung ating principal na object ng ating obligation ay, na paano? Diba namatay ang horse, which is the principal subject? Well, the accessory shall follow in this case. Bakit? The principal obligation has been, or the principal object of the obligation has been extinguished following our previous na mga, rules regarding this topic. So, I think that ends obligations with a penal clause.